Hello, how are you? I'm so grateful that you've taken a few minutes out of your day to tune into this session in this incredible event that hashtag events have put on. I want to help you really succeed and progress this year. And so in the next few minutes, and I won't have long, but I'm going to give you 5 or 6, maybe 7 really good points. I know they work. My name is Kench. As you can see, I'm the author of a couple of books, but my passion is helping you grow your business. And I know it's difficult. I know times are weird, but actually in weirder times when we put a bit more inventiveness in, a bit more creativity in, arguably perhaps a little bit more effort in, well, let me tell you, the rewards can be massive. So let's get to it. Let me give you some ideas, and please, 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 after today, connect with me anytime. Facebook, Ben Kench, LinkedIn, Ben Kench, or in the details, I know Andrew will provide contact so I can help you more. But let's start now. Let's start with some things you can do, which I know will help you. Get a pen and paper. Let's do this. So first and foremost, I want you to absolutely realize in this world of tech, in this world of lockdown, in this world of arguably oppression and suppression, the one thing that matters the most is human connection. Now, I know that you, like me, want to hug people, want to meet people, want to get into the real world again. I know that we're having a virtual seminar now and we're using technology, and that's fabulous. But don't we just miss sometimes seeing each other? Don't we just miss what we used to have, which is the real world? Let me tell you, and I promise this is true of all of us, even the techie type backroom folks that we need and we value so much, all of us need human connection because we're basically spirits, we're animals, we're just real things, not machines. We have emotions, we have tough times, we have stresses. We need human connection. And so I'm going to, number one, urge that you stress in all that you can do more human connection. I'm going to say to you, honestly, push for real meetings. I know that there'll be some restrictions. Maybe we can't have large events, which is why I'm talking to you virtually in this event. But we can still have coffee meetings. We can still meet and walk in the park. Instead of those business networking meetings, we can still get together personally. And I know that you know that it's nothing quite the same as actually having a laugh, having a coffee, understanding a bit more about the person that either you might buy from or either possibly you might sell to. So number one, push to be human, push for human connections, go for real meetings. And if I could suggest maybe while we're doing that, slow down. You know, life has to be lived. And when we push and we burn out, we come across differently, even when we have a human connection meeting. You've met people, I know, where you felt that they were just not quite in the room with you, where you felt that they were distracted, or whether you felt that they were only interested in one thing and that was a deal. And it never ever works when you sense that energy, because it's the humanness that makes us attractive. And when you slow down a little bit and you manage your meetings are more effective. Because in this new world, if you want your business to thrive, it still has to be about people. Number one, then, absolutely focus on being human, focus on connecting as a person, focus, as I'll share in a minute, more about sharing you, and slow down so that when you do meet people, you're actually a real reflection of you, not too stressed. All right. Take that number one, because it is paramount going forward. But number two, my message for you, number two, is very simply manage your energy. Okay. Now, your energy is what comes across to me. I don't mean, do you feel tired, or do you feel bouncy, or do you feel happy or sad? But as you know, what you feel is reflected in how you come across. there isn't a right or a wrong. I'm on your side and I care. And by the way, I'm human and there's days when I don't feel great. But what I know is that being energized is attractive. So let me give you an illustration. Now, we talked a moment ago about having meetings, and you've had meetings, even if not recently. And so when you have a meeting and you meet someone and they come into the room and they're just, well, how can I say it? Flat. You've met people like that, haven't you? Or maybe not personally, you've seen them across the room and they're flat. And you try almost like pulling teeth to get conversation out of them, or they just want to keep back down to the money or whatever it is. But contrast that when you've walked into a room and there's been somebody bubbly and lively and energized and happy. And it's not like they're super fit. They just have an energy about them. You know what I mean, don't you? An energy about them. Have you been into a room or met somebody where you just felt, I don't know, didn't feel right? Yeah, we all have. And very often, especially the ladies, they just sort of intuitively get that I don't know, didn't feel wrong, but it didn't feel right either. And that's because you and I are sensory beings. We sense, we feel. And the most important thing we feel is an energy field. And when you feel others, be aware that others feel yours. And so managing your energy field, managing your energy so that you come across happy, you come across as lively, you come across as enthusiastic. It all makes a huge difference to your attractiveness in business. I promise, if you work as all of us possibly arguably could do a bit more of, when we work on ourselves and we change our energy, everything in the universe or our world responds accordingly. So to help you with that, mind your mental diet. Don't push things into your head. I don't know. It's up to you. But I don't think watching dirty programs on the news, i.e. when I say dirt, I mean negative, doom and gloom and horror stories and oppression and bad news, it leaves a residue. Manage your mental diet. When you have a positive outlook, because you're putting positive messages in, you feel more positive. And when you feel more positive, people go, oh, you're happy, you feel good. Yes, I am. So please, number 2, manage your energy, because it translates, it transfuses. People read it. And when they sense it negative, you're not attractive, they don't buy off you. When it's sensed as positive, they will. And if you manage what you put into your head, as long with some simple things like you eat some food that you and I both know, don't we? We've eaten some food, maybe a Sunday lunch, a large Sunday lunch, and we're just like, oh, we're bloated, we feel lethargic. The body's got to work at processing the food. We know. Sometimes some foods leave us less energetic. And by contrast, we know sometimes we can recall in a moment where we felt great. So what you consume in your head and in your stomach, and then obviously some exercise on top of that, you know this. But what I want to share with you with love is that as we go into this new age, you will be what attracts me to buy from you. So the more personal development, the more work we do on us, especially around being energized and being positive, absolutely translates into cold hard cash, more sales. So number 1, absolutely make sure that you are human, that you're real, that you're connecting people. Number 2, manage your energy. But number 3, with that, don't try to be something you're not. Be you. Now, I don't know what we would describe me as or you as, but I know that there are times when you feel just great. And in those moments, you probably have even said to yourself, just feel me. And we've also had moments, all of us, haven't we, where we didn't feel confident. We just weren't sure. We didn't really be ourselves. And yet, when we are ourselves, everything falls into place. And if I ask you, do you like fake? Or, you know, when you see all this fake news or lots of the trash often on social media, do you like fake? No. So don't be something that's fake. There isn't a right or a wrong way. As you go around your business world, as you go to meetings, as you're doing your interaction with colleagues or peers, there isn't a right or a wrong way. There's just your way. And if you are just authentic, doesn't mean say you know everything. Doesn't mean say you do everything right. It doesn't mean anything other than you're being open and honest. And you know, in a world where there's so much I can't trust, I'm looking for something and someone I can. And when you work on you and I work on me, when we all work at being real as an individual, we're not perfect, but we're perfectly imperfect. There's days when I have stress and worry. There's times when I cry. There are things that hurt. We have parents that are aging or children that are teenagers, and there are challenges. So don't hide from those. Be proud of those. Be you. Be authentic. And be happy with what you've got. But not content, because there's always personal development we can do. And so the third critical point is, whilst we stand up and say, I like me, and we work at liking me, and we quite happily to be this, doesn't mean say we don't think we can get better. And so that personal development of reading and of stretching our minds and of trying new habits is always, always good. And let me tell you, in the world of small business, in the world of commerce, people buy off people. In fact, you've heard the phrase, people like themselves or who they aspire to be. And if we can become somebody that they like or aspire to be, then we're going to do well in business. So your third point then, be you. Okay. So I'm sorry I'm rushing through these, but I know Andrew said like 25 minutes. The fourth point really is, now you're in the room with me, virtually or over a table, what are you saying to me? What is your message? Your business, I don't mind whether it's IT support or gardening. I don't mind if it's a product like a computer and a camera, or if it's a service like social media, doing my blogs. It doesn't matter. What do you do really needs to be, what do I get from what you do? And your message, your simple, if you like, in modern speak, elevator speech, your 60-second intro, what you say needs to resonate with what I'm thinking. And often I'm not thinking in the same language as you. I'm thinking, I can't do that. And I've got a simple language about a problem. And so your message, apart from telling me about your pain or me about mine, your message is about why you do what you do, as well as the doing of it. And so when you get your message right, people go, that sounds interesting. I think I could use that. And I promise, and I'll help you with this anything I can, but those few words that you say in your first introduction, over your website in copy, when you're meeting in what you say audibly, those first few words, they give me something that resonates or something that doesn't. And if when you say your message, there's energy in it, there's passion in it, there's a reason behind why you do it, and there's clear problem solving for me in it, then your message will attract business. And remember, I'm not going into a meeting or getting up in the morning going, I hope I can spend some money today. And nor are you. But I do get up in the morning and go, I hope I get a deal today. I'd probably say to you. And so what's the difference between us hoping to get a deal and not hoping to spend money? It's just that we know we want to fix problems to help us get going. If you say to me, Ben, how do you get on with your computer network in the office when things don't talk to each other? And I go, Oh, so frustrating. And you say, well, I can help with that. Now, work at your message. Make it so that it resonates with a problem I have, not just what you do. I'm only interested in me, not you. So turn your message around so that it's always customer focused, not your service focused. And get in it why you do it. When I meet with you, do I see evidently that you love it? Or do I just see that you've been doing it 30 years and you're good at it? Your message is critically important because in today's small business and business world, there are millions of competitors. I'm a choosy buyer. So are you. You can take your time over who to buy from because there's loads of choice. So if your prospective customer can take their time, and if your prospective customer has got lots of choice, how do they choose? In the end, they choose because they like the person, they trust the person, and they believe the person can solve their problems because it's evident that they understand them. So combine that, the understanding of the pain and the authenticity and the passion, and your message will bring you business. All right, so your next message, number 5, personally, this is something that I would like you to work at without losing number 1. So if number 1 was about being human, number 5 is about systems. You have to have systems to leverage your time. If you don't, you're going to be working flat out. Now, on the surface, I hope that you're really busy right now. But my experience of helping small businesses is that the business tends to take over the person, and you can't do everything. You really can't. And yet you get swamped into the so much need of you to do stuff that in the end, firstly, there's a capacity, a blockage. You can't go above a ceiling. And secondly, you just don't enjoy it. You get ground down. So whilst I want us to be human, I'm urging you to put systems in for any task that is duplicatable. So your daily routine, do you do lots of emails? Do you do accounting once a week, once a month? Do you do social media posts? There are lots of things that are duplicatable tasks. That is why we use and value software systems. I would always want you to work with a CRM or a customer relationship management software. I would always advise that CRM talks to your website so that your web can attract new people into your radar. I would always say that anything that can be sold as a product should be sold 24/7 off a website, not just when you're open Monday to Friday. I would say that if it can be sold 24/7 off your website, it should straight into your accounts and straight into email marketing to nurture that new customer. Systems are brilliant, and they will leverage your business so that you can still be earning when you're not actually working. I don't judge. There is no right or wrong. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having a lifestyle business. However, know where you are, because if you don't just want a lifestyle business, you'd like more, then you have to leverage you, or else you burn out. And so again, I can help you lots, but look at a CRM system, look at full integration. Your accounts, your email marketing, and your website all need to talk in the same place. And if you have product sales, and that's 24/7 just loading a stock, that needs to also feed back as to what stock you've got left, so you don't make a sale when you haven't got it to deliver. And on that last point, delivery is also systemized but human, because the best thing you could ever do after you've dispatched something or even delivered a service is to have a process that says, dear customer, that was last week, last month. Can I ask, were you happy? Bring the human touch back in at the end of the process. So we do want to be human all the way through, but in the middle, duplicatable tasks, you must systemize or you'll burn out. And trust me, I love and I care for you. I want you to have a great business. I don't want you to burn out. So if I can help you with any of that integration of software systems, I will. But look at the duplicatable tasks, certainly email, certainly web, certainly social media, certainly accounts, and make sure that's in one place so you can do it any time of the day or night from anywhere on the planet. It's valuable. Okay. So that's number 5, systems. Point number 6 always is to be absolutely the best you can be. And I mean the best you can be. Now, why do I say that? Because honest truth, a lot of us accept that we're pretty good at what we do. In today's world, my friend, good isn't good enough. Now, I'm not judging, on each to their own, but think about it. How many good providers of carpet cleaning do you know near you? How many good providers of domestic cleaning do you know near you? But do you just want someone that's good? Well, if someone came along and said, we're not just good, we're awesomely good, and our fairy dust magic sprinkles through our cleaning staff, and your home sparkles like a new pin, not just because it's clean, because we put love into our cleaning service. There's little touches here and there, a chocolate on the bed in a hotel, a flower in a vase in a cafe. There's little touches. Because being the best is where we stand out. If you're just good, you're just another. And I promise, in this world, well, my humble opinion is there's room at the top for the very best. And there's room at the bottom for the very worst. I don't think you want to be in the bottom. But if you're scrambling around in the muddy waters of the middle, you're just going to possibly get overlooked by so many other also-rans. And your customer that you're searching for is asking for more. So point number 6, please stand back, get a glass of wine, a beer, or a cup of coffee and say, am I good enough to be the best? How can I be the best, not just good? Where can I over deliver on my service? Where can I really value the customer and let them feel it? How could I really improve my skills so that absolutely I know stuff that others don't do? There's always room at the top, I promise you. And if you strive for being the best, you'll always be pushing up, and your energy will be that of growth, not stagnation. And so it all ties together. But please, stand back today and say, am I good, or could I be the best? Okay, I know I've had to rush through this because I want you to have an awesome day. Maybe you can rewatch it, maybe you can ride the points, but number 7, and we like the number 7, don't we? We like lucky number 7. So my last point, really, really simple. Value you. Please value you. I don't know what you think of you, but I'm going to hazard a guess. Over the years, I've met a lot of people, and it's quite evident from the way they price their services or goods, even sometimes the way they dress and walk in a room, even sometimes the way they handle a conversation or respond to a question. When you dig, they don't really feel they're that good. Like they're okay, yeah, on the surface I'm good, but when you dig deep, they're not feeling so great about themselves, and it's masked by all this other activity, noise, deflection. And so with love, I know that when we work inside at liking and valuing us, changes the energy that attracts people. As I said earlier, you haven't got to be perfect. No way. But if you're authentically you and you're liking you, you'll come across as a pretty nice person. Liking you actually shows in the same way as not liking you shows, because you put up with rubbish. You put up with customers that just aren't grateful. You put up with suppliers that just never deliver on time. You put up with customers that just don't pay. You're always negotiating down on price because, well, you're not quite sure you could get that big ticket. There are so many ways that your view of you leaks into the way you do your business. Asking price is always key. Putting up with, the pressure and being let down is always evidence. So with love, stand back and look at yourself and look at your day and ask, how can I make it better? What could I do that I'm really good at that could endorse me feeling good about me? What can I look at that makes me realize, I did that well. I'm not actually that bad. You see, there are lots of things you've probably done in the past that you did well. How many times do you refer back to them in your head to make yourself feel good today? Could you do that? I'm sure you could. I know that all of us have had moments where we felt like we succeeded. We did it right. We did it damn good. So look back at those times and remind yourself and stand up and go, yeah, do you know what? I feel good about me. Because in that moment, when you ask for that higher price, the other person senses that you're worth it because of your feeling good about the price. In that moment, you say, no, these are my terms. And you're shaking inside and say, I don't know if I do that because I want the business. But you stand strong and say, no, I don't want bad business. I want the business, but I don't want bad business. They're my terms. If it isn't on those terms, I know it's not good for me. When you have to chase your invoice, it's like, so frustrating. If they don't value your service, change your terms and change your clients. Because I promise this in closing. When we work at us, when we go inside and question, and it's hard work and it's uncomfortable, but it pays off. And so absolutely look at ways where you can revisit how good you feel about you and then demonstrate you feeling good about you in your business activity and decision making. Because in the end, I care and I know that this might be a weird new world and we might sort of all be having our rub and we're not enjoying it like we used to. But going forward, your business will reflect you. There will be businesses that die, but there'll be some that thrive. And what I want is that you and I thrive together. But thriving means possibly adjusting. We no longer just get up and go through routine. We no longer just do what we did. We have to just focus on a few of those areas that I mentioned so that we stand out and the business that's out there comes to us instead of someone else. So look, there you go. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Ben Kench is my name. If I can be of any help, then please get in touch. But until I speak to you again, go forward and thrive. Have a good day.